Kinane in the corner. Her third from outside. Zone. Shot. It's good! Espinal pulls up, knocks it down! We've made the trip to Wellesley High School. We were back here in 2019 for the boys. Tonight we're here for the girls in the round of 32 as Hilltoppers square off against the Raiders. Hello again, everybody. I'm Evan Massoud. Great to be here once again with Brendan Kelly. Brendan, we had one heck of a night on Tuesday night. I'm still catching my breath.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, from start to finish, it was everything we expected. A lot of great feedback, and here we are again, 2 days after.
The girls won big, a 30-point victory at home, something that I think maybe surprised us a little bit. And then the boys, of course, losing a heartbreaker right at the buzzer, a game that they almost erased a 20-point deficit in. The field house was electric. It's going to be a different story tonight on the road. Yeah,
on the road now, I'll tell you what, with this team here, defense will travel, and it'll be key for them, against a very good opponent in Wellesley.
We talked a little bit on Tuesday, kind of scoreboard watching, bracket watching, that there's one common opponent. These Raiders played the Bridgewater Raynham Trojans and Coach Seavey, who we know has been so tough over the last few years against Durfee. And it was a very low-scoring game, similar to our matchups with BR. So if you're trying to look at something somewhat apples to apples, there's your comparison.
Yeah, I think that bodes well for Durfee. Again, now about more than halfway through the season, they've been playing in the low-scoring games. They're comfortable. It was kind of unnormal for them to have such a high-scoring game the other night, but they like playing in the 30s and 40s. They're comfortable doing it, and I'll see a little bit of that tonight.
Well, Wellesley comes in the number 5 seed. They earned it 16-4 in the regular season. The girls picked up their 12th win on the playoff win on Tuesday. We'll look for another one tonight. It'll be a tall order, but we hope you'll stay with us. Live coverage right after the break.
Hi, Fall River. I'm Ryan Lyons, the Chief Elections Official for the City of Fall River. There were some very important changes heading into 2024 that I would like to make you aware of. The City Council has recently adopted an order approving my list of changes that relocates 8 voting precincts. If your precinct is included, you should have received a notice in the mail from my office. These changes take effect immediately. Voters in precincts 3A and 3B will now cast their ballots at Good Shepherd Parish Hall, located at 1598 South Main Street. Precinct 4A has been relocated to the Matthew J. Cuss Middle School. Voters should enter via the Shaw Street entrance. Precincts 5B and 6C will now vote at St. Anthony of the Desert Church Hall, located at 300 Northeastern Avenue. And lastly, voters in precincts 8B, 8C, and 9A, your new polling location is Bristol Community College, Building G. In addition to direct mailings, I'll be posting signage at the former polling locations as a reminder to voters. Entrances to the new polling places will be clearly marked. And of course, the good news about our new locations, parking lots are now available for your convenience. Handicap parking will be reserved for voters as well. Please remember that our first election this year is the presidential primary, which will be held on Tuesday, March 5th. As you may be aware, voting by mail is now an option to all registered voters. Voters will receive an application in the mail from the Office of Secretary Galvin. If you have any questions or need assistance, please reach out to my office at 508-324-2630. My staff and I look forward to assisting you. Thank you very much, Fall River, and please remember to get out and vote on Election Day. It is the very lifeblood of our republic.
It's time for spring cleaning. The city is rolling out an updated street sweeper schedule. Beginning in April, 4 phases of street sweeping will be implemented across 12 neighborhoods. Each phase represents 1 week of each month. For example, the streets in Phase 1 will be addressed in Week 1 of every month. Curb-to-curb access is essential as drivers may make several passes. Please avoid parking during posted times on new signage in your neighborhood. Parking restrictions are just a few hours, similar to a parking ban during a snowstorm. Questions may be directed to the Department of Community Maintenance at 508-324-2584 or the Mayor's Office at 508-324-2600. A map highlighting all sectors will be posted on the city's website and social media pages. Thank you for your cooperation in keeping our city clean.
Fall River Public Schools has opportunities for positions in multiple areas for people looking to work with the next generation. Come grow with our team. We have openings for teachers, paraprofessionals, and teaching assistants, and other educational support positions available. We are also looking to fill operations support positions such as custodial, security, and food service. We offer competitive salary and benefit plans. We have rewarding work available in our 21st century schools and learning environments. Come grow with us. Please contact the Human Resources Department at 508-675-8420, extension 53708, or see our postings on our website at fallriverschools.org.
Welcome back inside Wellesley High School, everybody. We're just about ready for the round of 32 game here. Evan Massoud and Brendan Kelly with you. Durfee, as you see there, 12-9 after the playoff win. They're the 28 seed in D1. Wellesley, the 5 seed, 16-4 in the regular season. Happy Leap Day, Brendan. We got an extra day this year in the month of February.
As a February birthday person, I'm glad I'm not the 29th. I saw Tyrese Halliburton, NBA star, his birthday today. They said he turned 6 years old.
I know. So whoever got born on the 29th of February really got kind of a raw deal. But
is this considered March Madness, though, or no?
Not yet. There we go. That's interesting, yeah.
No, I guess not, because it's still February.
It's still February, so we're getting ready for opening tip here. On this February 29th. Maybe a little luck will go Durfee's way with the extra day here. Durfee in their road black uniforms, Wellesley wearing home whites, as reflected on the graphic of our scoreboard. We're underway, and it is the Raiders with possession first.
Probably obviously any team that we played this year, but for most teams, uniform styles, this is color-wise, is the exact. You walked in the gym, the Wellesley warm-ups, we have those in the school store. They just say Durfee.
Yeah.
Same exact color scheme and blocking, and
a lot of the same providers in terms of branded sportswear in the area.
Just the school colors.
And that too.
Solid red and black.
Yeah, and that too. So Maddie Hargraves with the ball, gets it to her sister Julia. We'll run down the starters. Why don't you take Durfee, since they're the road team? We'll start with the Hilltoppers.
Yep, number 3, Juliana Souza, a senior guard. Number 4, senior guard, Julia Hargraves. Number 14, senior swing, Maggie O'Connell. Number 23, Avery Lane at center. And number 25, sophomore, Madeline Hargraves.
3 ball is good, and the scoring has begun.
Both teams starting in a half-court defense, no full-court pressure here. Looks as though Wellesley's in a man-to-man. Well, it could be, I'm following around. We could be that matchup that we saw on Tuesday with the boys gave a little bit of trouble with some principals.
Right.
Where it has a couple of different looks.
Well, for the Raiders, who have the ball once again here, almost thrown away, it is Shay Welburn, number 2, Shannon Welburn, number 3, sisters, number 10, Tara Battolino, and number 11, Avery Moore, and rounding out the starting 5, number 24, Laura Jiwa. It's the Raiders led by Glenn Magpyong. His first year back, but he was been with the school for a number of years. Took a couple years off and back here leading the charge. Nice handoff. Great block down low by Battolino.
Wellesley, you and I talked about it off the air before the game. Not a senior on the roster.
Yeah, that's surprising. And I mean, number one, it shows you the talent that this group has. And number two, it does make you wonder if there's a little bit of playoff inexperience there, given that you don't have senior leadership. O'Connell, a little wide and to the right off the back of the rim. She really carried Durfee in the early goings on Tuesday night.
Yeah, incredible high school career, Maggie O'Connell. She was somebody that Durfee looked for to step up in the score department, and specifically in the first half, she got them on the board. Juliana Souza with a big shot. I think one of the big keys for Durfee is going to be establishing some type of offense early on. I'm talking first quarter offense.
Yes.
Start seeing that ball fall through. The defense is going to be there. Defense travels in the playoffs, especially a Jeff Karen coach team. Defense will be there. But with these young ladies, seeing the ball go through the hoop is important. And in a playoff, I say atmosphere, we're on the road. It's going to be very important to see the ball fall through the hoop early in the first quarter.
First foul of the night for the Hilltoppers. I'm not sure who that's on because the scoreboard says number 35. There is no 35. Oh, yeah, 25. It's on Maddie Hargraves. There must have been a slip up there on the controller. And at the line, Shannon Welburn. She missed her first, hits the second, and it's 6-2.
Wellesley right now, nothing super cute defensively right now. Now just a full-on man-to-man.
Thrown away. Good pressure. Forced that turnover right there.
Wellesley significantly bigger than Durfee, I would say. On the higher end of slightly bigger. They're going to show their length right there, and I think that was, key to that turnover. Durfee in a 2-2-1 press, three-quarter. Pressuring the ball, slowing down Wellesley.
Jumper from the free throw line off the rim. Crashing the boards for the rebound there was Welburn. And a jump ball called. I got to be honest, I think that was a bit of a help to Durfee because it didn't look like Souza really had both hands securely on the ball.
No, it was imperative that she got it, though. Now as the season goes along, the one and done is going to be gigantic. You can't give a team like Wellesley a 5 seed, a team that's in the Bay State Conference, a team where every single night is a war in their league.
Yeah.
You can't give them multiple opportunities.
Almost thrown away there. Souza finds Lane. Lane blocked and goes down. That was Jiwa with the block.
Positive for Durfee, though. Souza very much so engaged, hit a jumper and with a great pass. Great box out by Madeline Hargraves.
Natty double team, trapped a bit, gets across half court. Her sister calling for it.
Big benefit for Durfee. Madeline Hargraves can rebound the ball and see her bust out like that. Good ball handling.
I talked with the Wellesley head coach beforehand, and we were saying, says, we watched a lot of tape. I said, the preparation for high school now with all the live streaming, all the video coverage and archiving games and whatnot, it's almost getting to a point of pro level in terms of game preparation. Well, all the tools are there. You just got to find it. O'Connell for three. It's good. That's a big shot to make it a 1-point game as we've hit the halfway mark of the first.
Great job by Durfee utilizing their passes. That was a long possession, getting their hands on it, and hitting the shot, allowing them to set up their pressure defense, which is their bread and butter. Going back to the preparation part, you're 100% right. 10 years ago, when I was the head coach and you're doing this, you're hoping to get a game film in some notes, and you're lucky if you're able to get, another DVD back in that time. I'm talking to coach friends who are still in it, people in the basketball community, and they're watching 4, 5, 6 games.
Yeah. It's
different
there.
times of the season.
It's doing your homework, Brendan. That's what it is.
Back then, you're lucky. You get a tape and you're like, oh wow, this one's from December 18th. It's the first game of the year. They've played 20 since then. Now you can get early season, mid season, last week. So it's exciting, and I couldn't agree with you more. Pro level, preparation.
Souza blocked on the pass. She was heavily contested there. Two Two sets of hands in her face, and Wellesley will take it back. Driving the lane. An offensive foul.
Fantastic job by Avery Lane with that blocker charge. We'll take the charge off here
your
early.
favorite. That's your favorite line this season. Block or charge.
Block or charge. Are we gonna get? Is the next one gonna be a block? I am convinced that it is a flip of the coin, or whatever one you called last is the one. But 6-5, 2.5 minutes to go.
Souza got the pass for three. It's long. Lane kind of locked arms a little bit there with Battolino. Couldn't get to the ball. Closeout time, yes.
Closeout time already, and as weird as it sounds with a 6-5 game, this is right where Durfee wants to be.
What a save from Welburn. They left her open. Jiwa in the corner after that ball almost went back court.
Good hustle by Madeline Hargraves. Very close. The handful of Durfee
They're engaged.
They
didn't like the call. And Brad Buston there, our athletic director, making sure things don't get out of hand. O'Connell once again defensively in the face. Open three taken by Janarikis. No good, and now Durfee with possession.
I'm going to tell you what, 3 straight possessions. Maddie Hargraves, old school, the way they teach you, blocking out, rewarded for her effort right there with it over the back on Wellesley.
Welburn picking up that foul. That was her second. Shannon Welburn's second foul. That is short, just off the front of the rim. Long pass down the court to her sister. And a foul.
Coach Karen Jellin, sprint. Wellesley got out a little bit of a head right there, but that's a great foul right there. You teach, you got burned, all right, accept it. Don't allow the and one. Julia Hargraves with right at the waist level, a hard foul.
It was a hard foul, and that's a miss.
Instead of the and one, that's a great foul. A lot of times the frustration of getting beat down court, you try to block a shot or there's a frustration and one there. Just a good hard foul, 1 instead of 3.
Yeah, take that all night long, really. As long as you don't get into too much foul trouble, take it all night long. Under 2 minutes to play in what has been a quick first quarter. Hargrave's going to take the shot, and it's in and out. Lane reaching, and she's going to get tagged with the foul.
I'll tell you what, Wellesley's length and just a very simple man-to-man is making it really hard for Durfee to attack some of their gaps that they've been pretty good. This is a very long team.
Yeah, good wingspan, tall.
Yeah, I mean, height-wise, sure. Long, though. Very, very much so.
Driving in the paint, off balance, it misses. O'Connell comes away with it.
Good job being strong. She got hit. First one, maybe in December, is called a foul, but playoff basketball, they're letting a little physicality going on there. She was strong on both of those right there, which is important.
Well, the Welburn sisters with all 3 fouls for the Raiders here. Shannon with 2, Shea picking up her first right there. And now O'Connell down in the corner. Gets it to Maddie Hargraves. Good feed to Lane. Tough shot. Lane off balance. Trying to get the rebound. Cannot. A little high off the glass. Skips off the rim. We're back down the other way.
Good shot for Durfee, though, running their offense.
Thursday game. When was the last time we had Thursday basketball, huh? Other than playoffs. This is a rarity.
Well, the football season you're starting to see, not necessarily us, but you're starting to see Thursday night football and a lot of,
True.
because it's a referee shortage and stuff.
I know. We had the Saturday situation, as well. A couple times over the last 2 seasons, but Tuesday was a real strange one as Hargraves wants the 3 and has it.
Big 3.
Big 3. 35 seconds to go, a 1-point game in the first. But Tuesday really felt like a Friday night for basketball. It was really strange. Saying, wow, it's only Tuesday, So now here we are on a Thursday. No hoops tomorrow in this part of the bracket regardless. Outside shot open, and it's going to be no good. Hargraves.
There's your fast rip on the call, but
this one goes
Durfee's way.
Right, this one goes Durfee's way, but this is one of the things that we've talked about all year, they have been anticipation is a word we've said, right? Anticipated fouls. Well, anticipated dual possessions. We've seen this a lot this year. They're not letting the kids really latch onto the ball before they blow the whistle. And for Julia, that looked like a clean strip. But instead, if the arrow wasn't for Durfee, the Hilltoppers really would have lost out there. In this case, 1 point lead for Wellesley in a low-scoring, good first quarter.
I'll tell you what, if I'm the coach and staff at Durfee, I don't think you can ask for anything better from that first quarter. You slowed them down when you had the opportunity. I thought you shot with a ton of confidence.
Mm-hmm. Clutch shots, too.
Yeah, a couple three-pointers. I thought we were engaged very much so. And you don't want to go on the road. There's the excitement now. This is round 2. Mm-hmm. And, the other team's got their first game, their excitement, and next thing you know, you're in a little bit of a hole. I mean, I think this is absolutely perfect right now from them. I thought they did a pretty good job rebounding. Some of them were off a tie-up, so our luck. But at this time, we'll take everything we can get to get rebounds.
Well, quick, like I said, fast first quarter here. And, service, sometimes we come up in the Boston area here, Metro West and whatnot. Service is not so good, and, we're at the whim of a hot spot. I understand that it's a little choppy watching back home, but unfortunately there's really nothing here we can do with it. We're trying our best here, but we're at the whim of T-Mobile, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the tech stuff that's way out of my pay grade.
It is what it is. I mean, so many hills in the area, and these schools, the way that they're built now, the shells and whatnot. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can cause interference, and we do what we can, of course, as always, but frustrating at times. Want to, while we have a second, quick shout out to as Wellesley starts with possession here. Just want to thank athletic director here, John Brown, for hooking us up once again. We've been here once before, and that was for the boys in 2019, and we really appreciate him and his staff as assistant AD Chris McGrath and their athletics department secretary Marianne McDonald. They were really very helpful yesterday for me over the phone and whatnot, so we really appreciate them taking care of us here.
Well, when you go down the line of playoff in other sports, and you go all the way to 2010-ish, 11-ish, we've in a handful of sports. I know there's been some football in non-playoff brackets. I know there's been boys basketball, and you and I have talked. There was at least a 2, and if it wasn't a 2 or 3 out of 4 year, Wellesley and Durfee baseball. So
remember that.
We've been involved with Wellesley and the old Division I South when it was bracketed that way. First class athletic program up here. This is a school system that takes their athletics very seriously, and
a lot of banners, a lot of championship trophies out in the hall. Yeah. And now for me, I'm 0 for 3 against Wellesley, so I'd like it to be 1-3 after tonight. That would be nice. But we haven't. The 2 baseball games that were losses. One being that the game it was played out in Quincy, that extra inning game that just was a total crusher. I think that was J.P. McDonald's senior year.
I was going to say that's probably a little longer ago than you think.
It is. Yeah, it was like 2017, I think. And then we got them again for baseball, and it was a total blowout. It wasn't a close game.
Yeah, we played at a park, I believe, in 2018. A park, and I say it wasn't on a school campus.
Right, but it was in Wellesley. So it wasn't neutral site at the time. It was their home park. Turned over, and a chance for Durfee to take their first lead of the night here as we're into the second quarter. Then the other game, of course, being the boys' game here, which was a tight game. 1-possession game, if memory serves right. Down in the corner to O'Connell. Back to Hargraves, open. She wants the 3. Hasn't hit one yet, and that one will not go. Out of bounds, and Wellesley will take it back. Either a little to the left, a little to the right. Hargraves hasn't quite zoned in on that 3 just yet. A little off the mark.
Well, they're shooting with confidence, and that's gigantic. And I'm telling you what, you look at it from a game planning standpoint, it does look like Wellesley's going to live with that. And we've seen it with the boys. We've seen it just high school basketball, period. They can come in bunches.
Yeah.
Shoot it. You got to shoot them. It's an open shot. These girls are good shooters. They've played a lot of basketball. We talk about experience. This is the experienced team. on the Durfee side, shoot them. They're going to be open.
Foul on the floor there against O'Connell. Her first, Durfee's first. Both teams had 3 team fouls in the first quarter, and now Maddie Hargraves getting hit with a foul from behind.
Yeah,
behind the Raider she was defending, and now that's her second, Durfee's second straight as well. So 2 fouls for Durfee here in basically a couple seconds' time. Not a lot of space here at this gym. Side court. Avery Moore with the basket for Wellesley. Very little space in front of the benches. I mean, like honestly, I feel like we're sitting right on top of the court. We're high, but we're right there. I love it. It makes me think a little bit of, days covering Conley at the LaFrance gym, except that this is just bigger. But we're right on the action, which is awesome. Sometimes, Durfee, you can feel a little bit removed because it's just such a big field house. And then there's a lot of side court and aisle space in front of our bleachers now since the new bleachers that went in. And it feels sometimes tight. Good rebound there. Second chance for Battolino. And Coach Karen going to call a timeout as the lead gets up to 5.
Yeah, right away, staying in that 1-2 possession, want to settle things down, not the way you want to come out in the second quarter. And it's only 2 baskets.
Right.
But,
But it was a turnover, the second chance. It amplifies it, especially in a sudden death game, right?
Yeah, there was, a miscue on the out of bounds. They were able to run something right down the middle, kind of get an uncontested off the out of bounds play. And then off the missed 3-pointer, that was just a big girl rebound, put it right back up there. So you want to slow things down. I'm a big component of, in these type of games, try to slow it down a little bit. Nothing on the negative, but just try to gain your pace back.
Well, over Durfee, the elementary school basketball city championships have been underway. First game was at 5:15. I think that was the girls' game, and the boys' game was scheduled for 6:15. Our Fred TV, some of our other staff, and a bunch of our students running that down there while we are here on the road, kind of doing double duty, and thrilled that's happening on the Fall River Educational Television Facebook page while we're here live on the Fred TV Sports side. And great to be able to cover that as well. And, next year we going to expand that to the middle school stuff as well. And
they pack the gym for those.
They really do. The atmosphere is great. The elementary has, it's really grown quite a bit. The middle school, I remember when that was kind of just starting out, and we didn't get as many fans. But over the last 5 years that I've covered it, I mean, they bring in a crowd. It's awesome. And, elementary's getting basically to that point as well. So it's nice to see. You see a ton of the teachers that come out from each of the schools, as well as, of course, the families. So it's a good atmosphere. And, I look at that as it's an extended feeder system. Hargraves bats it away off of Moore and gets it back.
Just slapping it off her teammate to catch.
O'Connell for 3, no good. Big stretch and a big rebound from Battolino.
Durfee good coming out of the timeout. Couple good shots, didn't fall, but defensively with a lot of hustle.
I will say as well, we always like to share good positive feedback, and we really thank our viewers. This winter we've done a record number of games since I've been on board, pushing 36 broadcasts for me, which is that's far and away my biggest for a season. But we had basically about 100 people watching Tuesday night on the live stream. I was monitoring it, and so we really appreciate that you folks have continued to watch our live coverage and stick with us throughout the season. And we got good feedback from people at home. You were getting texts. Got good feedback from the Wellesley head coach here, Coach Magpyong, who was saying, hey, you guys do great work. I enjoyed watching some of your games, to prepare for this one. We were talking about the preparation side of things, and it's not the first coach that has complimented us, from either basketball or any other sports for that matter that we've covered the broadcast and stuff. So, we always appreciate the feedback. It's nice. It's nice knowing other people are watching and they're taking the viewership as seriously as we are the production side.
Hey, it is nice to hear, but this is a blast for me. I love doing it. I love getting the invite.
Yeah.
I always tell you,
always an open seat.
But it's a lot of fun
You might have to fight with Vic Pereira next season a bit because he got the juices going again. He got the blood flowing, the game that he filled in for you when you were not here. But it was nice doing a game with Vic, too. I mean, we hadn't done a game in quite a while.
Well, Vic's one of the originators of this stuff. I remember he would do stuff in the 90s when he was home. And it wasn't, I'm not even sure if Fred TV existed at the time when he would do it. I don't know if it was old school WSAR or.
It depends. It might have been. Fred TV launched the 94, 95 era there.
That old,
so, yeah, we're coming up on 30 years, which is really pretty awesome. First free throws of the night for Durfee. And it's O'Connell at the line. She misses the first one. After the timeout, Hilltoppers not able to get any points and gave up that other basket as well. So down by 7 here in the second. They have not scored in more than half a quarter. And 0 for 2 on the free throws. That's not going to help either.
Alex Lapointe and Skylar Coward in for Durfee.
Skylar made a splash on Tuesday, some big shots as well.
Well, the two of them combined for 20 points off the bench, which is huge to get some bench production. What most importantly, in times where things struggle to score the ball, great for you to get 20 points off the bench. That's good for any basketball. And Coach Karen going with them in the second quarter right now. Spell a little bit from the starters, but
yeah, Coward had 9 and Lapointe had 12. So 21 points total between the two of them. But Durfee needs a basket. We've gone 5 minutes of the scoring drought here. It's allowed the Raiders to put up 6 straight and take a lead. That's out of bounds. Durfee will keep.
Durfee intentionally using quite a bit of the shot clock, down at 18 right now. But again, I've said it, the length of Wellesley makes it very hard going to the basket. Those gaps just aren't there that have been throughout points of the season.
And Revere was a pretty good-sized team as well, but big in a different way. They didn't have that, like you're saying, the length, the arm span and whatnot. It was just different. Every team a little different. That was deflected.
Yeah, their closeouts are a little bit different where we get in their airspace, their airspace, and then they're one hand up. Some coaches one hand, two hands up, don't matter, whatever you teach, but they're right there. Those open shots aren't as open as it may look.
Right. Lapointe going to pick up her first foul as she just came in. Durfee up to 4 team fouls.
This is where Wellesley right now offensively, nothing absolutely crazy. They're just chipping away, banging at the wall, getting some things off of offensive rebounds, foul line.
Shannon Welburn, her second trip to the line, a 2-for-2 trip. And Wellesley pulling away here in the second quarter.
Now, if I look at the score, yes, they had the wrong score on the thing. I was about to say, they only had it at 6 and a turnover.
Hargraves going to get hit with a foul as well, and now Durfee has maxed out. I only had 3 before, but the scoreboard had 5. And I'll take their word for it. That is on Julia Hargraves. It's her second foul. And back to the line, Shannon Welburn. As the 6th man sings happy birthday to her. Very unfazed. She takes another free throw. It's a 10-point lead.
The question is it her birthday? Or are we...
I doubt the 6th man from Durfee would know this fact.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Student sections around the country, you'd be very surprised with what they do now. They all find everybody on social media.
Yeah, I know.
So if it is in fact her birthday, I guarantee you that's a Durfee 6th man found it.
That'd be pretty funny, actually. Hargraves. Durfee needs a basket, and they can't get one here. Lapointe trying to bat it away. No good. Down the court, and that's a foul.
Wellesley using their length right now, and not only long, fast, and this is a number of times they've gotten out from Durfee. Durfee's not sprinting back on defense, but it has to be full track meet to get back. Their rebound, it's 1-2 ahead, and they get in transition layups.
That foul, I don't love that foul. We talked about good fouls before. I don't love that one so much, honestly, because especially with Maddie having 2 already in this first half, now she has to come out. To me, the player was a little out of reach, I would have just conceded the layup, honestly, at that point.
Yeah, right now I think you're seeing a little bit of frustration from the offensive side right now. I don't know how long it's been real time where we haven't put a basket in right now.
The entire quarter.
And it's just full chip away right now with Wellesley. They're doing it at the foul line, and they're doing it off offensive putbacks.
90 seconds to go in the second, Brendan, and Durfee has not gotten a point here in the second quarter. It's a 12-0 run for the Raiders throughout the second.
Well, without a doubt, hits the Evan Massoud meter of moving along. I was watching, you're watching, you're following the game. I'm looking at the score, I'm not looking at the time, and you say that the whole quarter. I look up, we're almost under a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy. 2 more points. Battolino with the basket.
Imperative right now for Durfee. Talking like we did a little bit on Tuesday on the guys' game. Short goals, small goals right now. See if we can keep this at 10 right now, all right? At 15, you don't want 15 to swell to 20. That's going to be tough. See if we can get 2 possessions here, a couple buckets, 10 or 11 points.
Tough shot, and Hargraves draws the foul. 2 shots, second foul for the Raiders.
Well, good start on that small goal to try to achieve. Get to the free throw line right here. See if you can get 2, a stop and a score. 10, not the best quarter, but
yeah, 10 more manageable than 15.
Without a doubt, and much more manageable than 20.
Free throw misses. Durfee 0 for 3 at the line in a small sample size, but 0 for 3 nonetheless at the free throw line.
And we've seen, it feels like we've been in these situations before in games where you and I have done right now, where it's just real tough seeing the ball go through the hoop.
And Hargraves empty as well.
Big defensive possession for Durfee right here. You can't let the offensive frustration get a hold of you right now. It's going to be a big stop. See if you can get a bucket on the other end. And there's
that'll do it. There's your turnover. Shot clock will go off. 33.5 seconds to play here in the first half. And Durfee desperately needs to end it with some points.
Again, defensively, Wellesley's not doing anything crazy. Alex will point with an over-aggressive. They try.
That's a killer because you're already maxed out. So now you just lost the possession too.
Well, you see that little action right there. It's a sandwich screen. You're going to allow Julia Hargraves to pick a side, and you naturally go up, with a sprint up there, and that was a no-brainer as far as a call.
Welburn to Janarikis. Now back out to Shea.
Wellesley's probably going to take it all the way down.
At this point, would make sense. Baseline out now. Did she step out of bounds? Or was it a travel?
We had 2 good defensive possessions. Looked like she stepped out of bounds.
Well, I second-guessed the out of bounds because our baseline judge didn't blow the whistle. So I was waiting for him to make the call. Hargraves can't get it to go, and the Hilltoppers were shut out in the second.
Yeah, tough time of year for those things. Again, those things happen. We've talked about it. We've kept it positive, throughout the year that I'm going to tell you what, a lot more high school teams go through droughts than you think. You just don't hear about them, or it's not teams we're watching. So on the positive, this isn't, oh my God, we haven't scored a point in here, but tough time of year for that to happen. Good news. Defensively, I thought they were okay. They could always be better, but they were all right offensively. And Wellesley wasn't wow and on the offensive end. They just got a lot from the foul line and putback. So got to be positive this time of year.
Working without the table tonight. We got book in the lap, computer down here, but we're all alone on this side. When we came for the boys, you didn't do that game with me, but the Wellesley boys were just on the other side behind the camera. And, man, the student cheering section was huge, but it looks like they've shifted to that side now. This side, kind of a working side, which is better for us, I guess. We'll be honest. It's better for us. So, hey, tough first half for Durfee, the second quarter in particular. See if they can sort it out. Coach Karen is going to use every second of this halftime break to try to sort it out, get this team feeling confident again and back in this playoff game. Sudden death playoffs, it's a thing of beauty. We'll have the third quarter next on Fred TV right after the break.
This year I have the honor of my first grade students piloting Ignite here at Tansy. And it is a program where it is an online tutoring program where students are provided with one-on-one instruction.
I do, I go on with my teacher, and then when I go on with my teacher, I sound words, and I look at, when we look at the words, we say the name, and we make the letters sounds. And after that, we when I get 5 stickers after that, we get to play a game. I've been focusing on our reading, because if we don't read, then we won't get smart.
We are focusing in on the science of reading. Students are working on building their accuracy and their fluency within those pieces, and we're using grids to help build those skills. And it really echoes just what we do in class.
My teacher always lets me have a confetti and some stars every day, even fireworks. Well, we do learn about reading, and we learned about new letters and sounds.
Ignite is amazing. The children are so engaged. They love going on Ignite. Every morning they know the routine of what they need to do, and they just absolutely, I see them laughing, I see them engaged.
Being a good reader is important to help you feel cheerful and very happy. This morning, I went on Ignite and I got my headphones. I put my mic out, and then I turned on the computer and logged in.
They do a baseline test at the beginning when they first meet them to see where they're at, and they meet them right there. So if they still don't know their alphabet, they're going to work with that. If they're working on blending, they'll work with that. If they're already somewhat fluent readers, they'll push that. So they meet them where they are and they push them forward to get them on level.
It has done a lot for me. She always teaches me new words and new stories.
I'm able to see some friends are reciting the alphabet, other friends are working on phonemic awareness activities, and other students are working on sight word knowledge.
I do stories, and my teacher had me to read. Bus. Sun.
It's pretty awesome because for 15 minutes a day, essentially I have 9 instructors working with students. I mean, they say it takes a village, and my class is Exhibit A.
It's fun, and I learn a lot of sight words and games and learning and drawing and just my teacher is nice.
Amanda's not here.
It lets you be smart and it lets you read. I always read them first I read them with my teacher, and then I read them by myself and I spell them out.
They are gaining the confidence and they're getting the help that they need, and they're really enjoying the reading that they're doing and the activities they're doing with their Ignite tutors.
I look at how we read passage of stories because it helps me more by reading. And it's fun because I like it because it helps my brain. My teacher wants me to know me by circling the happy face or the tired face or the sad face. And then I tell her how I'm feeling.
A lot of times if I am introducing a sound, I'll have at least a couple kind of call out and say, oh, I was just doing this on Ignite, or my Ignite tutor just taught me this. And so there's absolutely that alignment between what they're doing in their session with what we're doing in class. And so I think that highlights to the kids, just how important what they're learning is, and also kind of shows them how many people are invested in their success. For these first graders moving up to second grade, I think they're going to be in a great place when they get to their next level. And for kindergartners coming up to first graders, I'm so excited for them to also get to enjoy this opportunity.
I'm Mike Labossiere, Watuppa Reservation Forester.
And I'm Paul Furlan, the Administrator of Community Utilities.
Protecting open space is a benefit today, and it's a gift to future generations.
For over 150 years, Fall River has been a leader in environmental preservation. The Southeastern Massachusetts Bioreserve ensures forests and fields remain undeveloped and accessible. The Community Preservation Act is a vital component to fulfill climate goals.
Since 2017, CPA funds totaling nearly $1.3 million have been used to acquire conservation areas in Fall River. Educational programs within the bioreserve connect families to nature and promote understanding and respect for diverse culture, history, and wildlife.
Half of Fall River, about 12,000 acres, an area the size of Mattapoisett, is protected water and woodland. Healthy forests minimize flooding, reduce erosion, and provide habitat for endangered species.
As the region expands manufacturing and technology, people are directly reliant on green infrastructure as an irreplaceable source of clean water and air.
Miles of trails wind through unique landscapes which appeal to hikers, cross-country skiers, and mountain bikers. Specific areas are open for safe seasonal hunting. The Bioreserve promises endless discoveries and recreational experiences year-round.
CPA funds have supported thousands of significant projects in Massachusetts. Thank you for your continued interest in community beautification and betterment.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wellesley High School, site of the D1 round of 32. Durfee visiting Wellesley, Hilltoppers, Raiders, and a very, very tough second quarter for the Durfee girls.
Yeah, whenever you have, a quarter where you don't score, that's going to be tough. That's tough any time of year. It's really tough, now it's playoff time when, you're a lower seed on the road. But a big key, and I always say this, coming out of halftime is important regardless of the score. Imperative that Durfee gets a couple buckets, however they get them. Whether it's a three, a free throw, an open court layup, or if one of our soccer players decides to kick one in, we'll take any way to see the ball go through the basket.
Well, they get possession first, so it makes the possession even that much more important. Maddie Hargraves goes down, an off-balance shot, and no basket.
Yeah, Durfee's also going to have to be aware, too. Madeline Hargraves has been one of their more important players, had a great year. She's playing with 3 fouls. Second half, everybody plays with 3 fouls in the second half.
Off the rim, Julia Hargraves to Maggie O'Connell, quickly defended there by Moore.
We talked about speed on Tuesday, and Durfee, without a doubt, was flying around the court. You can see right now in the first half sample size that we've had, Wellesley can match them speed right now, and have.
That kicks off. Durfee will get the rebound. Souza with the rebound. The 5 starters in there to start the third. Julia Hargraves with the 3.
Big
She
three.
finally gets one, and that's a big shot.
Well, big 3 because obviously when it went down, but Wellesley, 5 white jerseys back. Durfee's going to have to really, they're going to have to sprint both sides of the floor.
Right, and a foul. Yeah, I see, Julia finally gets one. It's just because she had such a drought herself as well. She did have one back in the first. That's not to take away from that, but yeah, she had been trying through that second quarter to get one to go and just couldn't do so. Battolino at the line has not been to the line yet. She hits her first free throw.
She's done a real nice job playing in the painted area. She was a catalyst for them in the second quarter with some offensive putbacks, running off their blobs. Did a nice job. Avery Lane with a nice little touch.
And Lane actually was the one who had the foul, by the way, for Durfee. That was her first. Souza. Oh, that was an early whistle. That looked like it was going to be a clean block. The whistle sounded almost before the hand got there.
Shannon Welborn wanted that when she looked towards the bench. It was like, whoa, that looked like a clean one.
It did.
Third foul on her, too.
I know.
Good aggressive play. Talked about it. Don't want to let the and ones. That was a tough one right there. And she smiled a little bit and gave the, because that looked and sounded clean.
Souza at the line, missing the first one. Durfee, their third trip to the free throw line here, 0 for 5 on the night. On the other side, Wellesley 9 for 12. Durfee 0 for 6 at the line. That's tough. The shots are contested enough. It's difficult on the floor, and then to come up empty in 6 tries at the line when you're getting free baskets, basically, that's a tough way to live, too.
Durfee with a good job, too. Coach Karen had them, they jumped right into their press, make a miss. They got to try and do something to speed this game up in their favor.
Yeah.
Wellesley did a good job of press breaking and just bad luck with a fallout out of bounds.
Lane gave a nice little screen there for O'Connell, but O'Connell couldn't get the shot. And now more free throws for Durfee as Jana Rikas getting called on the foul. It's her first. Wellesley's second. Durfee with 1 team foul here in this in the third. Maddie Hargraves to the line for the first time. And the first one is good.
Breaks that drought from the free throw line. Did a nice job, too, taking the ball to the basket with a little bit of an extra dribble, extra effort to get it through that double team.
2 for 2. And some much needed free throws as well for Durfee.
12-point game, and here's our steal.
So it should be 24-13. Scoreboard now. Okay, finally updating here in the gym. Got a little nervous for a minute.
That's the second time I've looked at the score.
It's lagging. Another foul.
And here we are. Well, 5 minutes 55, so 6 minutes to go. But Durfee going the ball to the rack.
Wellesley going to go into the timeout. Before the free throws, it was a foul on Shea Welborn. So the Hilltoppers will have some free throws in a moment after the timeout here. Coach Magpoing not wanting Durfee to start thinking that they can claw back in this one, and didn't like the back-to-back-to-back fouls either, I'm sure.
No, and then we have potentially that opportunity of, under 4 minutes maybe going to the free throw line a little bit more. They're not trying to block you at the free throw line, so whether or not they went in the first and second quarter doesn't matter now. Make them now. Try to get to the line, get the freebies. Good timeout by Wellesley, though. I think settle them down coming out of the half. But Durfee, play that chip away game.
Well, I mean, really, that's all you can do right now. And you got to hope that the baskets start to fall and that the defense continues to play as tight as they have all season. As Julia Hargraves back to the line for the second time tonight, looking for her first free throw make. That one short.
Durfee make or miss, they're going to put some pressure in the backcourt.
Julia hits the second.
And we're at a 10-point game.
Durfee outscoring Wellesley 5-1 here to begin the third quarter. Nice pass here, nice basketball move, and it goes for Welburn. Shannon Welburn with a nice drive to the hoop.
Yep, and you called it great basketball move.
10 points for her, first into double figures tonight.
In air, kind of switch from the other side. Great little touch.
Hargraves, Maddie that time, contested shot through two Raiders defenders cleanly, no whistle or anything, and then the shot just missed. A little high off the glass.
Battleino with a great rebound, starting to establish her presence in the painted area for Wellesley.
O'Connell quickly there, covering up more. Now a jump ball.
Goes Wellesley's way. That's a tough luck right there for Durfee. Kind of fell into Maggie O'Connell's hands, and by the time she was able to gather herself, Wellesley was right there to tie it up.
So a fresh possession here for the Raiders. They're going to kick it out to Battleino.
Good defense by O'Connell right there.
O'Connell is covering everybody. It's everybody around the top of the key. She's there. Big rebound, out of reach for Hargraves. They were all underneath, and it kicked out wildly. Down low, baseline, corner three for Welborn. No good. Souza wraps it up. Oh, and throws it away.
Good offensive possession, good defensive possession. Just tough luck on a outlet. Durfee's, got to do it again, and they do.
They do. Look at that. Maddie Hargraves ripping it right out of the hands. Full steam ahead. Going to drive through, draws the foul, and she'll go back to the line. It is the fourth foul for the Raiders, and there's still half a quarter to play.
It's a great job, Maddie Hargraves getting out in the open, but I'm going to look at it. Wellesley, they 4 jerseys back. They're running the floor, sprinting the floor on both ends.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to give up a free one. They'll make her free throws, which she's done, but I'm impressed with Wellesley's speed as well.
That foul was against Jiwa, her first. Yeah, it's Hargraves. Hits them both.
Back down to 10, little one diamond right now. Really trying to speed it up. Durfee's had a little bit of success when they've had an opportunity to speed them up.
Welburn to Battleino. And now Shannon Welburn gathers it, gets it to her sister.
Durfee got what they wanted. They got a deflection.
There's another one.
Another deflection. Quick tie up. Durfee will get the ball. Mm-hmm. So they're getting what they wanted.
Yeah, the defense does look better, I'll be honest. And particularly over the last, say, 90 seconds or so, we've seen some even better coverage down on this right side of the court.
Here we are now. Let's play pick a goal. See if we get this to 6. Going into the fourth quarter in your business, despite the shooting woes right now. You're 10 right now. Let's get a solid offensive possession.
6 would be a 2-possession game. That would be that would really make you feel good if you're the Hilltoppers here, being on the road, like you said.
Wellesley's closeouts are just fantastic right now. There's not any opportunity for Durfee to shoot.
Well, Hargrave's going to take one. It's off the mark. Out of bounds. Durfee will keep. Great job by Lane right there.
Yeah, those are the things that's not going to necessarily show up in the book, but those are the things that you need to start happening to get back into this game. Kudos to Wellesley right there. Durfee really was patient offensively. Take closeouts in their hands. It's just nothing is open.
Natty going to take the jumper, and it's no good. Lane with the stretch again. Kept in. What an effort. Down the court. Souza not looking for it. Might have been able to pick it off, but she had her back to the play trying to chase down Shannon Welburn and ends up drawing or committing the foul, I should say.
It's Wellesley just sprinting both ends of the floor, getting out, and it's a foot race. And luckily for Durfee, they've done a good job of not getting any of these and ones. And Wellesley's free throw shooting hasn't been particularly good either. But Durfee's got to be very much so aware their speed track other sport. It's That's got to come into play because they're flying.
0 for 2. It was in the hands. They're on the fingertips of Lane. Couldn't get it. And the second effort and the second chance goes Wellesley's way.
Yeah, the stops are there. The stops are there. You just got to convert the stops. You got to grab that ball. Julia Hargraves saw an open look, took it right away.
And they're not falling from outside right now. Lane with the block, double teamed, gets out of it.
And once again, though, Durfee not getting the loose one. They're getting their hands on it. It's the ultimate almosts.
Yeah.
And the almosts aren't going to do it now. We're deep into the third quarter. This is the definition of the Evan Massoud quick meter. This is the benchmark right now. I mean, I feel like this is flying. I don't know if you are as well, but I mean, I look up at the clock. It feels like there's 2 minutes on it every time.
And that's a 3.
And that's a big bucket from Shannon Welburn.
Her second from outside, and it's a 15-point game again.
Yeah, I mean, what poise by Wellesley. You know, Durfee coming back a little bit, and Wellesley just doing the little things and then making a big 3 right there.
Souza takes a shot. It's no good. And Hargraves going to get hit with a foul, reaching over.
I'm going to tell you what we're getting into within the next couple weeks, and depending on what communities are still playing and whatnot, you know, there's going to be a lot of travel basketball, a lot of, and I'm going air quotes, AAU basketball and all this, and there's going to be a lot of people coaching and trying to teach and do new things, and you know, they're going to try to get cute defensively. Watch Wellesley right now, and how simplistic and basic, but basic in doing it unbelievably well defense is right now. They are just playing and doing it right. Closing out, doubling off the dribble drive, making it really, really tough, good help. So before anybody wants to go and try and get fancy and cute and Google some master defense, watch Wellesley girls basketball with a big shot by Juliana Souza.
Well, you know what? Honestly, it's kind of what Durfee did to Revere.
That's
steal.
A big steal, Madeline Hargraves.
And a timeout. Coach Karen, you mentioned this all year too. The timeout after something positive. 5 straight in a matter of 3 seconds because of the steal, and it's back to a 10-point game.
Hey, the big news, we got to stay positive. The big news right here, and the good news is this is unbelievably within striking distance on both sides.
Yeah.
And you've seen it when Durfee has been able to score and set up some stuff defensively. They're slowing Wellesley down a little bit. They have to on the defensive side, though. No more almosts.
No, you got to
grab the ball.
Yeah, you have to get the rebounds. We are under 10 minutes of game time. Season hangs in the balance. So that's it. There is no room for anything else. It's got to be chip away time. You can't fall back down to 15 in the final, minute 18 of this third quarter. You have to be chipping away in these final 2-3 possessions.
Yeah, and to do that, the deflections need to be grabs. The loose balls need to be won, and the rebounds need to be won. So it's those 3 things have to happen.
And by the go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just reiterating, you can't have almosts.
Yeah, and also quietly but dangerously here with that last one, by the way, Julia Hargraves has 4 fouls for Durfee. And that could be a big problem. And obviously she's on the bench right now. She is not out there for this final part of the third quarter, probably because of that reason.
Well, it's smart by Coach Karen. You don't want her picking one up. Scoring or not, defensive or not, she controls the whole pace of play. She's a true point guard. So you need her out there.
Well, and I think, too, we had an issue earlier. They put number 35 on the board. It was actually Maddie, number 25. I had 3 for Julia in the first half, and I think the board may have mistaken again back in the first half because with the 2 now, she would have technically fouled out, which obviously she didn't. Lane gets not Lane. My bad. That's not Lane. That is
Johnson Scott.
Johnson Scott with a big stretch.
That's the rebound I'm talking about.
So now you need points. 30 seconds left in the third. Drive into the basket. Oh, it won't go.
It's the tough roll you need right there. You get that roll. We're down 8. Now we're talking going into the 4th. And almost a sloppy one here. Big defensive possession for Durfee right now.
10 seconds. Layup is good.
Fantastic move. She's had a great game, Tara Battolino.
No shot.
And we're back up to 12. That's a great job by Wellesley closing that out.
And Durfee put up points, that's for sure. I mean, they you know, you look at the second quarter, right? That's what stands out is the shutout there in the second quarter. But 12-point game now. Durfee was able to put up 13 points.
Yeah, I mean, a better scoring, obviously, than the previous quarters. But here, Coach Karen's he's gonna extend the game. He's at 3 timeouts. Wellesley's got 4. So when you have 3, your goal is see if you can force Wellesley into at least 1, maybe 2 of those right there.
Mm-hmm.
Play the 4th quarter in 1.5 minute, 2-minute increments. Stops and scores. Try to get into the things that you're going to be able to do well on the defensive side, and you got to get the almosts. You got to get every single one of them. I was going to jokingly say with you when we were talking about, is there discrepancy on the book and the files? Is say, dare we say, where's Margaret for checks?
She was very much on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Took it more seriously than anybody else I know.
And I say that with love if she's listening.
Oh, yeah. I'm not patronizing. No, we're dead serious.
Our phones will stop buzzing soon.
We're dead serious here. Final 8 minutes from Wellesley. Hilltoppers need a stop here and a quick transition back. Julia Hargraves will start the 4th on the bench with 4 fouls. The Durfee senior captain. That will go. See, when it's going, it goes.
Shea Welburn, nice. Talked about a basketball move finishing at the rim.
But she got the roll. It fell for her. It didn't fall for Maddie at the end of the 3rd. Blocked. What a deflection by Battolino, the tallest one on the court. And 1. And Julia Hargraves going to go back in.
Well, that quote-unquote center just went right up the middle of the floor, finished strong.
And it's Jada Johnson-Scott picking up the foul.
Durfee was going to benefit, with Wellesley not pressing. The ball handling situation wasn't going to be gigantic, but there, now we're at this point of the season. You want to have your best players on the floor, and you're going to trust that. You're going to trust the senior to not pick up a foolish one, and
yeah. That is a miss on the end 1, but for the Raiders, 6 straight points after Durfee cut it to 10.
But Durfee's going to make sure they have their feet planted on that sandwich screen at the top.
Picked in the air by Lane, and Durfee with a fresh possession out of bounds, but she didn't have the ball. Well, I'll tell you, Maddie Hargraves got lucky there. Her foot was out of bounds, but she wasn't touching the ball. She came back in.
Yeah, real bizarre little little baseline drive with the referee right there. I don't know if he's chuckling right now. We're not sure what the call was. Another really good closeout by Wellesley.
Oh, thrown away.
And here comes that speed. Block a charge, 2 in a row. Gutsy play too by Madeline Hargraves too, not to pick up her 3rd foul.
Yep.
Nice job sliding under.
3rd foul for Shea Welburn. That looked like a good. She's set. I mean, she was totally set as the defender there. I think that was a good call.
Yeah, very much so. And I say blocker charge, half jokingly.
Oh, sure, of course.
That was nice.
But that was
textbook. The feet in there.
Yeah, she got settled and just toppled over.
Having looked at some of the scores too of Wellesley and our common opponent with Bridgewater Raynham, you fight fire with fire sometimes.
Yep.
Wellesley totally comfortable. I mean, we're in the fourth quarter of a playoff game right now, 37 points from the high seed.
Yeah.
Wellesley totally comfortable playing in the low. It's just so many different styles of basketball. You know, we just think because the Celtics and the Warriors score thousands of points in a game that, you know, at every level it's supposed to look like that. You can win in different ways and different styles. And here's a team that is just as comfortable in these grinded out games as we are.
That's how Durfee got 11 wins this season, or 12 if you include Tuesday. Grinded out defense, and there were multiple single possession games that Durfee led down the stretch that they could have won. So, I mean, it's not even, you know, this is a team that easily could have had 14 or 15 wins. Seriously.
Yep, and, you know, Wellesley had those, you know, on that, you know, style of play here. I mean, I am incredibly impressed defensively with Wellesley and just them doing things so well here. It's just good ball pressure here.
More pressure right there and forces the throw out of bounds.
You know, and when things aren't falling offensively, you're literally, and at this point of the year, you're trying to go into everything you have in that you've put in. That looked like that was an attempt to run some of the flex, and, you know, maybe you haven't run it that much or you haven't run it in a while, and, you know, the frustration of not being able to score is kicking in.
Well, 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the fourth quarter. Similar situation brewing here as the second. Durfee has not scored here in the fourth quarter. And Wellesley still on that 6-0 run that extends to the final seconds of the third. Bracket watching tonight, BR and Belmont, we said, playing
6:30 start, so I'm assuming they're probably flirting around halftime right now.
Right, yeah, because we've been going for an hour, almost an hour and 10, and shows you how quick the game is, that we're just over an hour in, and we're already almost midway through the fourth, but BR getting to host that one. Wellesley would host either of those two teams if they hang on, if the score stays the way it is. As the 5 seed, they're higher up than BR and Belmont. So the winner, it would be interesting to see that, you know, when you pick some of these one and done matchups during the season that are out of your conference, like Wellesley did with BR. Wouldn't it be interesting if they end up squaring off in the playoffs and they got to see each other once in the season, you know?
There's no doubt that that's, you know, anticipated.
Sure.
In that area. Bridgewater Raynham, they very much so a model, you know, got a basketball and a hoop, we'll travel. They go all over the place.
Julia Hargraves to Souza. Souza lost it. It went out of bounds. Great effort again by Battolino. But Durfee will have to inbound.
I was talking with a good friend yesterday who's also a very big high school basketball fan. We were talking about, you know, the statewide tournament and the new format that's 3 years old. I don't know how much longer we can call new format.
Yeah.
We're 3 full years in, all 3 seasons. And I was saying, you know, how much I love it. And, you know, from my coaching experience, it's been a lot of fun, you know, looking up and doing your homework on new teams. But I was saying I miss what would have been next week traditionally, where you could camp out at Taunton High School for 5 days and watch
the best of the best
the best in the South for
100%.
For, you know, guys and girls Monday through Friday.
Yep.
That was always a really fun week, whether you were still playing in it or not.
We spent a lot of time at Taunton when I started here because of Bishop Conley and the boys, you know, the championship season, and then the next year when they made it back to the Garden. And
we're gonna hope that's a 4 burn.
Yeah. You know, you saw that Julia kind of pulled up, skidded to a stop very quickly there, and I think it is the floor, the court right on the knee.
And that's all we're gonna leave it at that, a 4 burn.
Yeah.
But yes, going back to Bishop Conley, and you know, Billy Shea's got a random one with Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag is Mount Verde. Why am I drawing
Cooper Creek?
Cooper Creek. Cooper Flagg's the #1 basketball player in the country. I don't think he played at Bishop Conway.
No, he didn't.
Billy, if you're listening, I'm sure you wanted him, but
and I'm sure he's
Cooper
laughing.
Creek.
I'm sure he's laughing right now too. And Brendan, come on, Brendan. But no, I mean Taunton was the neutral site location. Tons of parking. The field house is big or bigger than Durfee's. And it's got a wood center court.
Well, it was also just the middle of 24. It was neutral for traditional South teams.
That too, yes. That too. So it's just, as we go into the timeout, a 1-for-2 free throw trip there for Julia. Gets Durfee on the board here in the fourth, down by 15. But, yeah, Taunton High, man, great place to film, great place to watch a game. And
they did it. So I remember being on Jeff's bench 2009, last weekend, if you ask me, but 15 years ago, we played a neutral site at Brockton, and, they would do New Bedford and occasionally Durfee. And there was one year, and I don't know if it was a wacky snow year or what it was, it just turned into Taunton.
Yeah,
and it was just all Taunton, and it wasn't one at Brockton, one at the girls used to play at Massasoit, stuff like that. But
well, I have to be honest. I hate the Brockton gym. Hate it. I hate it.
Well, it's a tough place to play.
It's a tough place to play, sure. But to film, it's atrocious. With all the steel girders that are like 10 feet off the ground. Oh, my goodness. New Bedford's better. New Bedford's more like the Trip at UMass Dartmouth. When they fold the bleachers in, you get the side courts. When they're out, it's a center court atmosphere. And Brockton's the same way, too. But Brockton's ceiling is just so much lower that I did one game there. It was actually, I think that was your last game as head coach, right? Shaylin's senior year.
At Brockton High School, correct.
Yeah, and it was one of the most uncomfortable broadcasts I've ever had. It just was tough to see, not a good area to film from. It was rough, let me tell you. Battolino with another basket for the Raiders. Halfway through the fourth. 4 minutes played, 4 minutes to go. Hargraves fouled on the three. Oh, I would have loved for that to go down. Bounced in and out, and now she'll go to the line for three as Battolino picks up her third foul. It's also the team's third foul. And 3 shots for Hargraves. And we saw the 3 shots on Tuesday, and it didn't pan out for Durfee, unfortunately. And the first one misses here at the end of the boys' game.
I don't know if they acknowledge, again, some messages of streaming issues, throughout.
No, I know. It's just, there is just, unfortunately, only so much we can do. Prior to COVID, we were not streaming. Everybody had to wait until we got back to watch the games anyway. So, but I understand the frustration. I mean,
now this not being my expertise, genuine question.
Yeah.
Will this be a clean broadcast?
100%.
Once it's
yes.
Once it's done. So,
yes. So the way the laptop is what's streaming out, and we're using a software to be able to live score, play all the graphics, all the feature pieces. It's like a mobile switcher. The software allowing us to use the laptop in the way that a director would use a switcher. It also records everything we're doing natively to the computer pre-stream. So there's no internet issues there. So the recording is native that we upload to YouTube. That's where we archive on the Fred TV Sports YouTube. So, wow. That said, after the record is separate from the stream out via the internet. And like I said, we're using a 5G hotspot. It's got great signal, but it's just not doing what it needs to do in the building here and talking to the laptop. We've had this a couple times, unfortunately. Winchester, I think we said in the first half, Winchester comes to mind.
Well, 3 times.
Three times.
Two volleyball and basketball, and three times in 12 months.
Yeah, and, you're high up on a hill. You're in the Boston area where, in the metro areas are where signals are the strongest because of population. You would think you'd be all right, but
Talk about gyms you like and you don't like, and the coolness of the statewide tournament.
I did not like Winchester.
So, obviously not having much luck up there. We're 0 for 3. Same coach, too.
Yes,
John Fleming, volleyball. basketball coach. Shout out Coach Fleming. He's one of the best.
Oh, yeah, and let me tell you,
state.
their athletic director hooked us up big time.
Great people
They
up
are
there.
awesome up there. It's not that we didn't like the school, just the layout of the gym is a little wonky.
I like it.
You like it?
So that's my
no kidding.
That's my statement of gyms that we don't normally play in, but have and you and I coaching and then with the boys basketball being up there.
Yeah.
Up there 3 times.
Maybe I didn't like it just because we dealt with the internet frustrations there too, and I said I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to have to come here anymore.
This is like here. This gym is up a flight of stairs, so this is on a second floor, I would assume.
Yeah.
Great take by Hargraves, finishing strong. I just like the big window being upstairs and
I agree.
Playing volleyball in June, which were both years. They were hot days. It was
daylight,
just sun coming up. I thought it was cool.
No, that I'll give you because Pam and I were talking. Pamela Martin running camera tonight for us here, and we were talking when we got here and said, man, these skylight windows way at the top of the gym here on the walls, but at the top in the rafters. How nice that would have been if they had incorporated that into Durfee, because the field house is dark. It's not as bright as this. And to get some natural light, just like they had, like they did for the pool house, would have been fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's one of the other cool things too. On a nice, bright, sunny day, the Jarabic pool. That's
beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
I guess we say windows are cool.
Yeah,
in gyms.
Who wants to be in a cave? 0 for 4 is 0 for 5 rather. Battolino in their last 5 free throw attempts, just 1 for 6 on the night. No foul.
And traveling.
2:12 to play, folks.
Hey, listen, from a defensive standpoint, they're under 40 points. Durfee's defense traveled, just as I said it would.
This is a Wellesley team that has averaged about 50 or so a game. They've had games up into the 60s. This season. They had some low-scoring games, too. Don't get me wrong.
There we go. We got one last-ditch effort here by the Hilltoppers, playing literally right to the end. We're 11.
Yeah, 11 points down. Trying to trap. They get the pass to Shea Welburn.
Wellesley's going to definitely use some clock here. Very patient offensively, Wellesley.
Oh, down low, the foul. And the foul is going to be against Skylar Coward, who just came in not too long ago.
The Welburns have both played very well. And, Shannon Welburn on that one just sliding underneath the basket and kind of moving within the air.
That's a big make for her as well, by the way, because she had missed her last 3.
Yeah, free throw shooting on both ends, not fantastic.
No, Wellesley started really good. They were like 9 for 12 in the first half. But in the second half, they have really struggled. Look at the rebound from Battolino and not able to put it back up. Contested shot down to Julia Hargraves. Desperation 3, short. O'Connell might have had some contact there, but no foul. We didn't hear any slap, but it was close. And the second chance, no good either. As we roll up on 1:10 to play in Durfee's season. Spin move, and it'll go. That's just beautiful.
Yeah, that was. Initial reaction is she spinned the wrong way, but regardless, what a great move and finishing in air.
Coward, no good. Well, Brendan, we seen some fantastic moments this winter. You were with me for many of them. Saw some fantastic hockey. Hockey lost on the road yesterday. The number 1 seed, Nauset, shutting them out 6-0. We also learned Kevin Robinson, Durfee's head coach, after 17 years, retiring. And, he's seen a lot of good, a lot of not so good seasons. There were some tough ones in the middle there, but man, he got the best out of his players every season. And I've never seen such a big smile, this co-op. He really liked it. We talked about it a lot. And he says, I've never seen 2 schools. Westport was there too, very minimal in terms of the numbers, but it was primarily Diamond Durfee, this co-op for hockey, last 2 years. And he says, I've never seen a group of guys come in so unselfish, not worrying about playing time. They just want to win. And as a coach, it makes it so much easier. So hockey's done. The Durfee boys are done. And now the Durfee girls season has come to a close after a win at home in the prelims on Tuesday. They fall to Wellesley 42-28. And really the scoring, the offensive woes, the defense not able to overcome some of the shooting, and that's a credit to Wellesley's defense, frankly.
Yeah, I was unbelievably impressed with just doing it right on the defensive end. Really good job closing out. I mean, their length was something. Didn't give Durfee any gaps to attack offensively. They didn't have many opportunities or uncontested shots. Offense was not the name of the game tonight on either side. You say in a playoff game, can you hold a team to 42 points? You like that.
I know. It's crazy.
On the other end, 28 points. Durfee was never out of it.
That's the thing. They've never really been out of it all season long. It's just, again, can the defense hold enough for the offense to catch up?
Yeah.
And some games it did, some games it didn't. And tonight it didn't.
I'm going to tell you what, they have a lot to be proud of, though.
Yeah.
You go into the season, a lot of returners and, some injuries. Maya Hayes.
Yeah.
Her best days are ahead of her, and we all know that. But you go in, and then 4 or 5 games into the season, you have some things rolling, and you got to totally revamp what you're doing to win games and be competitive. And this team did that. They listened to their coach. They worked hard. They've got a ton to be proud of. They were tough to play against.
Yeah.
With how tenacious they were. And there are a lot of seniors, played a lot of sports. Tip of the cap, great athletic careers. Some of them will go in track or tennis. Some, they're on to their next chapter athletically. But, great careers.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Next winter, these two basketball teams are going to look very different. You see here our mobile setup tonight here without the table as Pam comes back up to us. But it's been a great winter. I'm glad you were with me for a lot of the games and a lot of the action that we had. And next season, like I said, both boys and girls will look very different. A lot of graduates for the class of 2024. But tell you, we're excited. We have spring sports on the horizon, not too far off, and we have some business to do and to contend with right out of the gate. A softball field dedication and a baseball field rededication. And it's so exciting because everybody is on campus finally again. And a little other nugget, we mentioned it on one other broadcast, but we'll drop it now, is we're going to Cooperstown to cover varsity baseball as Durfee and Case are heading to the little village there out in upstate New York, the National Baseball Hall of Fame, and they're playing a game at Doubleday Field. We're going for that.
Well,
two
really
looking forward to that, too.
One, I'm going to do a baseball game with you.
Yeah, you better.
And I told you I will, if we have a conflict with volleyball, I am going to pull the friend card out with athletic director Brad Buston to move the volleyball game so I can do a baseball game. We've been talking about it for 3 years.
Yes.
And 2, going up to Cooperstown, Durfee, and Case, the 2 schools I coach at.
Yeah.
I got to figure out a way with my family to see if I can make my way up there for that as well. I don't know if that's going to fly, but it is a thought I have had. So
it's the school vacation week.
School vacation week.
So, all right. Well, hey, we'll keep you all suspended, and we'll wait and see what happens.
Yes.
We'll keep you in suspense. Folks, thanks for tuning in this winter. We really did see some great action, and we appreciate your continued viewership and support, and we look forward to seeing you in the spring. We'll have baseball, softball, and some boys volleyball with your Hilltoppers, Brendan Kelly. Final score, one last time from Wellesley, 42-28. The Raiders defeat the Hilltoppers. They'll host the Sweet 16 against either Bridgewater Raynham or Belmont. We wish them the best of luck. So long, everybody.